I was rooting for Jasmine. Jasmine, I was rooting for you. Okay, nobody else was rooting for you, and I was out in these YouTube streets rooting for you, getting thumbs down after people me in the comments for being a Jasmine defender. I was rooting for you, and you disappointed me. Welcome back to another 90 Day Fiance recap. Let's talk about Happily Ever After Season 19 Tell-All Part 1. Wow, they wasted no time. They got right into it. There was so much drama, so much happening. So we're going to get right into it. But first, I just want to let you guys know that if anyone's interested, I do have a full episode watch with me / reaction video on my Patreon, patreon.com/mythots. And also a quick little reminder that it's okay to disagree. It's okay to have different opinions. You don't have to be so mad and so angry and let me know in the comments how much you hate me. It's okay. We're all gonna live. We're not talking about politics or human rights or religion or something like super serious. We're talking about reality TV and the people on there. And also just please keep in mind, my commentary is very hyperbolic. It is exaggerated. It is not based on these people in real life, like who they are. I don't know them, okay? I'm just basing my comments on what we're seeing on a TV show that is highly produced and edited. So please keep that in mind. Don't send any hate to any of these cast members, and don't take any of my commentary too seriously, okay? Okay. So with that said, let's get into it. So we're having another tell-all where they stuff all the cast members into one giant house, feed them a ton of alcohol so that they can all fight. Yara and Jovi are the first ones to arrive at the mansion. Then it's Darcy and Georgie. And I love how Darcy and Georgie were in the kitchen and Jovi was trying to scare them. She was like, "Oh, I guess we're the first ones here. Nobody's here." And then Jovi's just sneaking up and he's like, "Hey." Girl, be so for real. Then it's Brandon and Julia, and I cannot believe she is 6 months pregnant. 6 months pregnant where? And apparently his and her parents still don't know, which is crazy. How are you 6 months pregnant? You're going to have a baby in 3 months and still not tell your parents. I don't know. Does anyone else think it's kind of weird? Then Jasmine arrives and she's really hoping Gino's not going to be there. But right after she gets out of her car, another car comes up right behind her. And she's like, "Fuck my life. I haven't even entered the house yet and they drop Gino on me." Well, the car stops and out comes Guillermo. He's so cute. I mean, I think I have another crush. Damn, I have a lot of crushes this season. Georgie, Guillermo. I feel like I had another one, but I can't think of. I mean, it's definitely not Brandon. It's definitely not Gino. It's definitely not Jovi. It's not Andre. It's not Alex. Maybe it's a guy from another season. I don't know. But anyway, Guillermo is so cute. Next to arrive are Libby and Andre, and they kind of stay inside the house and look from the inside at the pool to see who's already there. Then we see Darcy at the pool. She's hooting and hollering because there's a bug on her. Julia or somebody was next to her and they're like, "Oh my God, you have a bug." Get it off, get it off, get it off. And it's a teeny tiny fly on her arm. Next to arrive is Kara, and I can't help myself. She's so pretty. Like, I just look at her and I'm like, "Oh my God, you are so pretty. I love your hair. I love your outfit. Like, you just look so cool." Back at the pool, I noticed Yara's outfit and I freaking love it. I love her swimsuit and I love her little Chanel sunglasses that kind of matches a swimsuit. So cute. So everyone in the pool starts talking about Jasmine and Gino's relationship, and Yara thinks Jasmine used him for a green card. And I'm shocked she would say that considering how much she would hate that accusation on her. Georgie doesn't think Jasmine really loved Gino because when you really love someone, you do whatever it takes to make it work. Okay. I mean, that probably explains why he's still with Darcy. He's like, "I mean, sex is very important, but still." Okay, why is it so hard for people to understand that different people need different things? Different people have different love languages. If you can go without schmex for 10 months, that doesn't mean someone else can go without schmex for 10 months. Does that make sense? Say it with me, everyone. Different people need different things. You know how they say a way to a man's heart is through his stomach or whatever? Well, if that were the case, I think every man would leave my ass if I were to cook them a meal. And so what I would have to do is order Factor and plate it up all cute and act as if I made it myself. But we all know I'm not looking for a man right now. So for me personally, I'm on a GLP-1. And guess what? They recently added GLP-1 balance meals that are perfectly portioned, protein forward, and calorie friendly meals. And with the holiday season coming up, a lot of us are about to be super busy. So on days you don't have time or energy to cook from scratch, these meals are perfect to have in your fridge. Because all you have to do is heat it up in the microwave and then you can have a chef-prepared, fresh, never frozen, delicious, and nutritious meal. They have over 35 meals a week to choose from, plus snacks, smoothies, and breakfast that get delivered right to your door. Honestly, it's a lifesaver for me and my sister. We personally love the juices, especially in the mornings, because we don't have much of an appetite that early, so the juices are perfect. If you want to give them a try, head over to factor75.com or click the link below and use code mythots FB50 to get 50% off your first Factor box plus free breakfast for 1 year. Offer only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase. And thank you, Factor, for sponsoring this video. So everyone in the poll basically says Jasmine played Gino. Now, Lauren and Alexi enter the house. They're not looking forward to seeing Libby and Andre. They're going to avoid them at all costs. Did I already mention how Yara just gives me Mean Girl vibes? I don't know. It's just everything I've seen of her and heard about her on the show, I just don't think that I could trust her. And I feel like I would just get that energy where she's just very standoffish and she just kind of thinks she's better than everyone. Jasmine eventually joins the pool and everybody is up in her face about Matt and Gino and like how she got pregnant. Why didn't she use a condom? Did she start sleeping with him before the last resort? And she tells everybody that they forked in the shower with a condom and she didn't know that in the shower, the condom breaks apart from the friction of the water, which I didn't even know that was a thing. Let me just quickly Google, okay? Do condoms break in the shower? According to Google, yes, condoms can break in the shower, although it's not guaranteed. Factors like chemicals and high temperatures in the shower water, as well as the increased risk of slippage without proper lubrication, can compromise a condom's integrity. To minimize risk, use plenty of water-based lubricant, ensure a proper fit, and consider the potential risks before having schmecks in the shower. Thank you, Google. Everyone's drinking, hanging out at the pool, they're shooting the shit, having a good time. It's night now, and Gino finally arrives.
Oh no, I see Jasmine, that scammer, that cheater.
He goes downstairs, says hi to everybody except for Jasmine, and everyone's like, oh my god, aren't you gonna say hi to Jasmine? Is there anyone else you want to say hi to? Jasmine? And I hate when people make an awkward situation even more awkward. Now, this is when I noticed that downstairs, there's an in-house bartender, okay? TLC hired a bartender to be in the house to make whatever drinks, as many drinks as a cast member wants. Wow, production wants them fucked up. So Gino goes to the bar. Georgie, Alex, Jovi, and Kara are there with him, shit-talking Jasmine. And by the way, this is where I want to say, Kara, I liked you, okay? I was rooting for you. I was out here in the YouTube streets fighting for you, having your back. And what do? Side with Gino? You. Just kidding. Jovi looks at Gino and he's like, Gino, you gotta set her straight because she's getting everyone on her side in time for tomorrow. And tomorrow you're gonna look like the loser. And Kara's like, yeah, I know, bitches. They're all gonna remember that she was nice to them and they're gonna have her back. Kara, shut up. God.
Gino's like, okay, I'm gonna go talk to Jasmine.
So he walks up to Jasmine with his drink in his hand. He's feeling all big and bad. Jasmine's sitting down by the pool with Libby and Darcy, and he goes,
so Jasmine, you were talking shit about me?
Libby tries to shut it down, which honestly I was surprised because I did not expect her to be on Jasmine's side. So Jasmine tries to remove herself and he's like,
you're a cheater, you scammer, you fraud, you immigration fraud, you destroyed my life.
You've done enough.
No, you've done enough.
And Kara goes, facts. I agree. Kara, shut the up. Oh my God. Damn, you've never annoyed me so much.
You scammed me. You used me for a green card.
And Jasmine, I'm sorry. She cracked me up when she was like, okay, call ice.
And he's like, I already tried.
Libby tells Gino that Jasmine just had a baby, so to walk away, she's dealing with a lot of hormones. Postpartum is not a joke. And Gino goes,
I don't care about a baby. Don't talk to me about a baby. I don't give a crap.
You'll never understand what a mother goes through during postpartum.
What about what I'm going through? You're being very pro-Jasmine right now. I don't like this. Like, why are you so pro-Jasmine?
So Gino is now trying to get everyone on his side because Jasmine had all day to get everyone on her side. And now it's Gino's turn. Libby tells him he's doing too much.
I'm not gonna let Matt get a freebie.
What do you mean a freebie? I'm not a freebie. I'm not an object.
I want Jasmine shipped back to Panama, and then Matt's gonna have to apply for the K-1 visa.
Julia goes, but she has a baby with Matt. Gino doesn't give a shit. All he cares about is getting Jasmine deported. That's his one and only mission right now. He doesn't see anything else. He wants her gone. And he's not gonna stop until it happens. Now, I did notice Georgie is playing both sides. He really cozies up to Jasmine to the point where some might mistake him for flirting with her, but then he turns right around and talks shit about her to Gino. Well, Andre takes this opportunity to talk to Jovi. They're both seated at the bar and Andre goes, "You blocked us on social media." "Yeah, so? I don't want to be friends with you. And plus, your wife called my wife a bleep." "Yeah, but that's the ladies' problem." And Jovi tells Andre to grow up, stop acting like a bitch-ass baby. "No, you're a bitch." So then Jovi slaps the water bottle out of Andre's hand and walks away. But then as he's walking away, Andre picks up the water bottle and throws it in Jovi's direction. And then Jovi picks up the water bottle and throws it back in Andre's direction. But it almost hits the poor bartender. Like the bartender had to duck down to avoid getting hit. So then Andre walks up to Jovi's face and he's like, "You wanna fight? You wanna fight?" And now Jovi's scared because he knows Andre can beat the shit out of him. So he's like, nah, I'm an adult. I'm not gonna fight anyone."
"Then don't throw bottles, you little bitch."
So then they argue again about the bottle throwing, who threw it first. Oh my god, it's so dumb. And Georgie's on the side, he's kind of enjoying the show. He's smirking a little and he's just glad that it's not him. Eventually, Jovi and Andre decide to squash it. So now we go back to Jasmine and Gino. He's going around calling her a scammer, cheater, whore, acting like he was a perfect doting husband when in reality he was also a piece of shit. Jasmine is determined to say her piece. And I don't know why Kara is so far up Gino's ass. Like, I really don't know. Are they related? Are they family? Like, do they have some sort of connection that I don't know about? But like, she's really living inside his booty hole almost as much as I'm living inside of Jasmine's. Jasmine's like, "Gino, stop acting like the victim. You treated me like shit. Speaking of shit, you had literal shit in the toilet when I came to America." And Kara is snickering in the background like, oh, so that gave her permission to go cheat on him and get pregnant. Gino yells at her right back,
I can pull up the text messages right now and show the whole world how you treated me, you bitch.
Ooh, y'all, the real Gino is coming out. They're screaming at each other, but I was the most shocked at Gino's viciousness. Like, that was the real Gino, okay? There it is. But so many people are on his side, especially the women. Darcy, Kara, Yara, what the hell are they smoking? Kara even says, "Oh, by the way, Gino, don't call a woman a bitch. That's not cool. Also, don't tell an immigrant to go back to their country. That's not cool either. But other than that, I'm totally on your side." What? That's the Gino that Jasmine has been dealing with behind the scenes. Listen, it's not lost on me that Jasmine was absolutely batshit in Panama. I remember the lows she would stoop down to, the screams that she would scream. I remember, okay? But Gino, still, after all that, he still brought her here. Why? Why? Then we see Kara and Guillermo talking on the sofa, and she's like, "I'm so glad I had a baby with such a good person." And then she kind of stares at him, but a little too long. I'm going to keep my admiration for these gorgeous men to a minimum because my last Georgie video got some people so uncomfortable. They were like, "Oh my God, the way you were thirsting over Georgie, like it was so uncomfortable." I'm sorry, God forbid a woman appreciate the view, the good view that is in front of her. Like, God forbid. All right, so after Jasmine and Gino's big blowout fight, Jasmine leaves the mansion probably to be with Matt and her baby. But right before she exits, she sees Gino's suitcase. And I'm just like, don't do anything, Jasmine. Just go. Leave the mansion. But you can see her like actively thinking what to do with it. So first, she puts the fruit from her drink on a suitcase. And then she starts to slowly escalate. So then she pours her drink over his suitcase and into his bag. And then she takes off her underwear and rubs it all over his stuff and then stuffs her underwear in his bag. Oh my God, that was nasty. That was nasty. That's a biohazard. Why does she do that? Why? That's so low. Like, stop. That's so disgusting. And also, I was very disappointed that production didn't tell Gino by the time he got into his room. And he was like,
I need to take a shower and get this Jasmine stench
off of me, which was such a good line considering what we just saw. But then production didn't tell him to look inside the bag. Like, why didn't we get a reaction video? Why didn't somebody say, hey, Gino, do you want to check inside your bag? Because I think someone left you a surprise. How come nobody did that? It's the next morning and it's time to shoot the tell-all. Everyone's dressed nicely except for Jovi and Brandon. Finally, people are getting the message and they're dressing up for the tell-all. This makes me happy. I love when people dress up. Everyone walks on stage. They take their seats. Sean Robinson walks out. I love her hair. I love the pink. She looks amazing per usual. And then she tells everyone that at the time of this filming, the last few episodes haven't aired yet. And there's also a quick voiceover saying that Tiger Lily and Anon will not be joining. So then they get right into it, starting with Jasmine, Gino, and Matt. Jasmine talks about how amazing Matilda is. Matt talks about how much he loves Matilda. And Sean asks Jasmine what she did with the wedding ring. And she says that she had them transformed into earrings for Matilda? What the That makes no sense. First of all, why would Matilda want Gino's earrings? What? Why would Matt want that? This is insane. I feel like this is a lie. I don't think she's telling the truth. So everybody's rolling their eyes. They're like, just give it back to Gino. And she's like, oh, you want it back? Okay, I can give it back to you. They're earrings, but you can have them back. Wow, she's petty AF. So then they play back a scene of Jasmine telling Gino that she's pregnant and Gino being in his confessional, crying, breaking down. It's a very sad scene of Gino, I have to admit. And so now I see why everybody feels bad for Gino. Jasmine says she really did love him, and he's like,
no, you didn't. It was all one big lie for immigration fraud.
And Lauren's like, she really did love you. I mean, she passed a lie detector test last season, and she sucked your fucking toe, dude. And he's like,
that didn't matter.
And some of the guys start coming at Jasmine, like, why didn't you just end the marriage if you fell out of love with him? And she gets up and flips out and she's like, yes, blame the victim, Georgie. I'm not going to be doing this. I'm leaving. So she starts walking off. I don't blame her. I'm sorry. I don't, especially after being slut shamed at the last tell-all where all the men ganged up on her and called her a pregnant whore. No, if I were Jasmine, I would not deal with that either. I would have PTSD from that tell-all. Sean gets Jasmine to come back, and Matt's like, listen, Gino kicked her out of his house. She had nowhere to go. She begged him for months. She apologized. He didn't take her back, so I took her in. What was she supposed to do? She had nowhere to go. Do you want her out in the streets?
Yeah, I kicked her out because she cheated on me.
No, she didn't. You agreed to an open marriage. So then Brandon's like, okay, how do we move forward? Like, how do we move on from this? The only way Gino's going to move on from this is if she gets deported. And then she talks about if she gets deported, she can't take her daughter with her and they're going to be ripped apart. And basically she's in a shitty position that she put herself in. She admits that she made very poor decisions. And for the people who are like,
oh, but what about her sons? She left her sons.
Oh my God, she's working on it. Did you guys forget that she's been trying to get them to America as soon as she got to America? But Gino would not do the paperwork. Gino did not want to bring them there. Gino conveniently forgot to add their names on the paperwork. And when she wanted to hire a lawyer to expedite the paperwork so that she could get her sons in America, he refused. He came up with excuse after excuse and said, he doesn't have the money. So please stop with the what about her sons? She doesn't care about her sons. No, she's been trying to get her sons over to America as soon as she got there. Okay, it was Gino who refused. And just because she doesn't talk about them on the show doesn't mean that they're not in her lives. So then they play a scene of Matt proposing to Jasmine and Jasmine giving him a non-answer. And she says that she doesn't ever want to get married again, even though she loves Matt and can see her future with Matt. She does not want to get married. She does not want to give anyone else the power to hold the immigration thing over her head, threaten her with deportation, or accuse her of using them for a green card. I mean, she's basically saying that she's traumatized by Gino. Matt's frustrated because he wants to be married. His mother wants them to be married. And why is he dealing with the consequences of Gino's shitty actions? Next, Sean brings out Dana, Michelle, and Anthony.
My immediate family is all on my side. The only people who aren't are Dana and Michelle.
Dana's like, I didn't want to expose this, but I'm going to. And then he walks up to Gino, and then production gets so nervous, like they're going to throw hands and punches. They run up to them, break them apart, and Dana's trying to say the secret, like he's trying to expose this one thing, and he just can't because everybody keeps interrupting him. And this is where Sean Robinson should have told everybody to shut the fuck up and let Dana speak, but she didn't. She just like lets her, ow, I just banged my arm. Ow. Ow, that really hurt. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, Dana, hurry up and just say it. But he can't because everybody's interrupting him and Sean's not doing anything. So then Dana finally says that Jasmine never met his immediate family. Gino didn't want to introduce her to any of his siblings who lived 10 minutes away. And she kept begging him, introduce me to your family. And he wouldn't do it. Gino interrupts and he's like,
well, she would have met all of them if she came to the Christmas party.
But that was a whole ass year and a half after she came to Michigan. So for the first year and a half, he refused to introduce her to his family. Don't you guys think that's freaking weird?
Do you feel like Gino was hiding Jasmine from his family?
That's correct.
Dana also reveals that Gino told him that a week after Jasmine came to America that he regretted it and that he made a mistake and he should have never brought her here.
What?
But my thing is, you should have thought about that before because it's not like Jasmine flipped a switch as soon as she got to America and became crazy. She's been crazy. She was the craziest in Panama. If anything, she had calmed down so much when she got to America, okay? She was batshit in Panama. Cousin Anthony is on Gino's side. He's like, Jasmine and Matt has definitely fucked before the last resort, and I have the proof. Gino has the proof, blah, blah, blah. And Gino has phone records of Jasmine calling Matt and having phone conversations before the last resort. And like, first of all, that doesn't prove anything. That doesn't prove that they were fucking. They were having phone conversations. Okay, emotional cheating, sure, maybe. But like at this point, I don't give a damn. I don't. And at this point, I don't care if they fucked a week before the last resort. Like, I don't care. Like, I literally don't care. She was emotionally and physically and intimately neglected for 9 months while she was here. She begged him for attention. She begged him for any affection, okay? It wasn't just schmecks. He wasn't giving her any attention. He wouldn't drive her anywhere. He wouldn't take her places. He didn't want her to get her driver's license. He literally did not want her to do anything. The only place that he would let her go to was the gym. And she met Matt there and they grew a friendship. And then they talked on the phone and I don't know, maybe they started an emotional affair, whatever. I don't care. I don't care. This is the consequences of his actions. Okay, all of Gino's actions brought them there. Also, there's no proof that they fucked before the last resort. Gino only has phone records that they would talk to each other on the phone. That doesn't prove that they fucked. Gino whips out his phone and he's scrolling, trying to get the screenshots of the phone records.
They've started talking on the phone since December 3rd. Let me get to it. Hold on.
And Sean's like, Gino, next time for future reference, you can add it to your favorites folder. Again, I don't care if they've been talking since December 3rd before the last resort.
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
Now it's time for Natalie to come out and share her side of the story. Now, I have to say, Natalie looks fantastic. She looks fantastic. I would have never guessed she was 53. She's a gorgeous woman. She goes straight at Jasmine, telling her how disappointed she was at her for pushing her. And I agree. That was way out of line. Very inappropriate. Jasmine should not have pushed her or put her hands on her. No, there was absolute no reason for that. That was wrong. Jasmine was wrong. Point blank, period. Natalie tries to tell her off. Jasmine's like, nope, I'm not doing this. And Anthony's like, manipulative succubus. By the way, when he kept saying, she's a manipulative succubus, I thought Gino was speaking. They have a very similar whiny little voice. You guys, I'm telling you, Anthony, Gino, and Uncle Marco are 1000% Andrew Tate listeners. They are so red pill coded. Then they play back the scene of Jasmine calling Natalie a prostitute horse stripper and pushing her. Oh, so when did we invite strippers from Viejos? When? Oh my God, that was so wrong. I don't understand why Jasmine did that, especially after the treatment that Jasmine got at the tell-all by all the guys calling her a pregnant whore. She should know that was a low ass blow and there was no reason for that. And I was very, very disappointed in Jasmine when she did not apologize to Natalie for that. I really thought Jasmine was going to watch that scene play back and be like, ooh, I shouldn't have done that, and apologize to Natalie. But she didn't. She stood 10 toes down and she was like, I didn't do anything wrong. And I'm like, Jasmine, no, you need to apologize right now. So for that, Jasmine minus 100 points. Like, I was rooting for Jasmine. Jasmine, I was rooting for you. Okay, nobody else was rooting for you. And I was out in these YouTube streets rooting for you, getting thumbs down after people shitting me in the comments for being a Jasmine defender. I was rooting for you. And you disappointed me. You disappointed me. You should have apologized for your actions. You should not have called Natalie a stripper whore from Vegas prostitute. And you should not have pushed her. There was no reason. If anything, push Gino. Okay, Gino was the liar. But why blame Natalie? No. I love how Sean just flat out asked Jasmine, why did you verbally attack Natalie? Because literally that's what she did. She's like, it's because Gino gave me hell for the marriage, that we were going to work things out. And then I see Natalie, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't even matter. She should not have taken it out on Natalie. Natalie was innocent. Honestly, Jasmine not being able to own up to her actions and not apologizing to Natalie was so disappointing. Very, very disappointing. Natalie was on her side. Natalie wanted to make sure everybody was on the same page. So yeah, huge L for Jasmine. Lauren tells Gino, look, I know you're very angry and very hurt, but please don't use this as leverage too. And then he interrupts her.
But she needs to take accountability for immigration fraud.
And she's like, just let it go. Let it go. Let it go. And
no, I'm not gonna let it go.
And even Yara, who's anti-Jasmine, is like, Gino, just let it go. Well, guess what? He's not gonna let it go. Oh my God. And now finally, their segment is over. Holy shit. That was exhausting. Next, we're going to cover the Florida trio, which I didn't cover during their season, but I am going to cover them for the tell-all. And I just want to say, for Libby to expose everything that Lauren said and told her in confidence. You know, Lauren talked about her marital problems, her body dysmorphia issues, and for Libby and Andre to air it all out on TV, it's really disgusting. It's really dark. It's really low. I think that's so fucked up. I mean, who needs enemies when you've got friends like Libby? Apparently, Andre read all of Libby's text messages with Lauren, and then they talk about who reads their spouses or their partner's text messages, and they all go couple by couple, do you read your partner's text messages? And then it gets to Yara and Jovi. And that's where part one of the tell-all ends. It was dramatic. It was messy. I was eating everything up like, so delicious. And yeah, I can't wait for the next episode. In the meantime, let me know all your thoughts in the comments, and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye.
Don't talk to me! Don't talk to me! Don't talk to me! Don't talk to me! Don't talk to me!
Wish you could slide into my